Hello and welcome to my first tutorial. This is a Sense tutorial and I'm on the TU100 course at Open University. I thought I'd just drop this tutorial in for those who either want to see how games are made or wouldn't mind having a go at one themselves. You're welcome to follow this and use it however you want, and without further ado, here we go. So I've decided to make my first tutorial obviously a game tutorial, and I'm going to create a little tank game. So I'm going to start off by going to my backgrounds, and we're going to edit the standard background and just put a dark green base by using the fill command into the editor. Okay, and as you see, I've got a dark green grass-like base for my game. The next thing I'm going to do is create my first sprite. This sprite is going to be part of my tank, so I'm going to call it tank body. And we have no costume yet, we can paint them. You can import images from other items, but for right now we're just going to create basic graphics. So we're going to use a rectangle tool, I'm going to use a tan colour, and we're just basically going to go to the full screen and just create a little rectangle in the centre. This represents our tank body, and we don't want it too big or too small. Just make sure it's set to rotate about its centre, and then we can click OK. And there we have our tank body. If we show this on the screen, you'll see it's not too big and not too small for our screen. And now we're going to create a turret. And to do this, instead of creating a new sprite from here, we're going to create one by grabbing an area of the screen. Click on Grab Screen Region for New Sprite, and then you just take as much of it as you need to, and you'll see it creates a new sprite with that image in the centre of it. Now if we go to the costume for that sprite and we edit it, you'll see that it appears in the middle, and we need to transparent out the green stuff. So this is the transparent fill. As you see, it just makes everything the same colour as the background. And we're now going to create the turret. We're going to do this using a circle. I'm going to fill it using a darker brown colour. We zoom in a bit more, and as you see, we've got the end of the front of the tank here, and we're going to create our circle like this. And it can be oval shaped or totally circular, whatever you feel comfortable with. I like mine to be slightly less than circular. But you see, I've kept 1 pixel distance between both sides to make sure that it fits within the tank at all times. Now finally, for the tank we need to create a barrel. I tend to do mine in black so that it shows out really clearly. And the barrel needs to be 3 pixels wide, and we're going to put it in the middle of the turret, starting from just off the edge. As you can see, I'm going to just drag that forwards quite a way, so that's my tank's turret. Last thing we need to do is fill in the part of the tank that we don't need on the turret using the transparent fill again, and as you see, that just leaves you with your turret. Check your rotation center, it needs to be in the middle of this, so there we go, like that, and we click OK. Now as you see, we now have our turret and our tank body. We're going to rename our turret to tank turret. I'd like to be creative. Okay, and once we've renamed the tank turret, we can add some scripts. Now the first script I want to add is the one that makes sure that the tank always has its turret attached. So what we're going to say is, when the game is started, when the green flag's clicked, we're going to create a forever loop within the tank turret itself. Now a forever loop means that whenever the game's on, it'll loop around by starting from the forever point, going down to the end, and then you see with this little arrow, kicks it back up to the top again, and it just keeps going in that loop forever. What we're going to do is we're going to say to the tank turret, well, forever we want you to be on top of the tank body. So go to tank body. And whenever this is running and you've got the forever loop running, it'll go to tank body. Now one of the problems is that sometimes the tank might be clicked, in which case it comes to the front of the screen. So in that forever loop as well, we're going to say, OK, go to front. So whenever you're a part of the tank body, go to the front. So you stay on top for the image that we want to project. Now if we try that out, by running this, we'll see that our turret automatically goes to the centre of our tank. If we move, it appears at the centre every time. That's if you're dragging, you see, it brings that image to the front. but when you release, the forever loop re-establishes it at the front. Now, rather than dragging it around the screen like that, we like the tank body to actually be manoeuvrable in-game. So what we're going to do, we're going to give it some controls. And we're just going to be key press controls, and I'm going to use 4 of them. So I'll drag those 4 in first, and we'll set the controls. We need an up control, that'll take us forward. This is the arrows on the keyboard. The down arrow will take us backward. The right arrow obviously turn us right, and the left arrow to turn us left. All fairly straightforward. Then in the motion section, we're going to define what each of these arrows does. So the up arrow is fairly simple. We're going to move forwards 10 steps. That is in the direction of the tank body. So in this case it's pointing in the direction 90 degrees, so it would move 10 steps that way. I'm going to reduce that a bit to 5 steps because I think 10 steps might be a bit too fast. Now if we duplicate the move and put it under the down arrow, all we need to do is change the number of steps. In this case it's -3 steps. Now the reason for that is, first of all, a vehicle never reverses faster than it drives forward, so it's -3 instead of -5. Also, when we move, we're actually moving in a positive direction, which is towards the front. So if we want to go towards the back, we change the positive to a minus direction. So we're moving 3 steps backwards, and on that one we're moving 5 steps forwards. The next piece of motion we need to add is in the turn. Now the right arrow turns right, and the left arrow turns left. Just check that your little swirly arrow is pointing in the direction, so that one's moving from left to right and that one's moving from right to left. Okay, and just change these degrees. We're going to make it a 5-degree turn because 15 degrees can be quite choppy and look a bit less animated. Okay, so now what we have is we have the ability to move our tank body, but we also need to center it in case we get lost. So again, using the green flag control, we're going to say, okay, when the green flag is clicked, we're going to move our tank to the center of the screen, in effect resetting it to its original position, and we're going to reset its direction as well. We're currently pointing in 90 degrees, which is fine, pointing direction 90 degrees. Okay, so if we now click our flag, you'll see that we have our tank, and we can move it forwards, turn it, move it again, turn it, move it again. You'll notice that it doesn't allow you to turn whilst moving. Obviously we need to have a bit more involved script for that to happen, but for right now it'll do for the purpose of this demonstration. Okay, so during this brief tutorial we've actually created a rather pikey looking tank and we've got it moving. During our next tutorial we'll be making that tank fire a shell, and we'll be giving it something to fire at. Thank you very much, and please let me know if you've enjoyed this, if you want to see more, or if you want to see less. Thank you and bye.